Welcome to the Milk and Cookies podcast. This is the super amazing podcast that has absolutely everything to do with American football and nothing to do with milk and cookies. My name is Alex. I am joined today with Anthony and Leon. Just the three of us today, and we're going to get rolling with our week two kind of breakdown analysis, something that we did last week. So I'm going to open up with my question of the week. All right. Wait, no, here, even better. Game of the week. What do you guys think was your game of the week this week, Anthony?
Ravens Chiefs. It was just one word. Wow.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mahomes is just wow. That's all I
Mhm.
gotta say. Besides Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah, that's fair. Leon,
Ravens Chiefs. I can't go against that game. Ravens Chiefs.
that
It
was a
was
heck of
like
a
a
game.
it was like a playoff matchup.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be upset if that was a playoff matchup, but that was a divisional
Uh,
game. I
yeah. Or
um
championship.
or championship, you never know. All right, my game. I'm gonna go with Arizona and Minnesota. Minnesota was on the cusp of having their first win because they lost to the Bengals week one. So they
Yeah.
almost had their first win against Arizona, and a 37-yard field goal by Greg Joseph ruined it all. Missed.
What is it with kickers nowadays and just missing field goals?
I mean, pressure, man. It was the last seconds of a game. You're down by one. All you got to do is kick a field goal. It's like if it was any other point in the game, it would be kind of automatic, but
Yeah.
you have so much pressure built up on you because football isn't like baseball or basketball, like
No.
where one game is not the end of the world. In football, every game matters
Yeah.
because you could lose or you could get kicked out of the playoffs because of one game.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now here's my real question. This is something I've kind of been observing since on Sunday, since this all happened. So, as we all know, Jets quarterback Zach Wilson threw four interceptions. Four. You can count one, two, three, four interceptions. While Darnold with the Panthers has been electric. The Panthers are 2-0 to start the season. The Jets are 0-2. So, I'm here. Leon, you tell me this. Was Sam Darnold the problem in New York or was it management?
It was management. They were the problem. I think Sam Darnold is a nice QB. I've seen him make good strides with a new, offensive coach. So I think it's the management with the Jets.
Okay. All right. And Anthony?
It could be a little bit of both, honestly. Like maybe Sam Darnold, obviously Darnold didn't want to be with the Jets. It was clear as day, and it was a little bit of management because they went through a couple of different head coaches, new management, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, new players every year. So it's a little bit of both when you think about it. But reminder, this is only Zach Wilson's second game. He's the
Mm-hmm.
number two overall pick in the draft. Same with Trevor Lawrence. They both haven't had that great of first two games, but I see them turning it around. I believe it's their first two games, so they're still probably still getting the butterflies and nerves out of their system, stuff like that. I believe in them.
I mean, you're right. Everybody, I
Oh
mean, every
yeah, don't
rookie
get me
quarterback is going
wrong.
to have a
It's
rough
just
start.
like
Every rookie quarterback is going to have a rough start. But what I'm saying is, as of right now, the first and second overall pick in the 2021 draft, which are both quarterbacks, have combined thrown 10 or 11 interceptions in the first two games. So 4 games, averaging almost 3 interceptions a game. It's like, I mean, and then you look at other
too
guys that
predictable.
were drafted. It's like, look at Mac Jones. Mac Jones, of all things, he has led the Patriots to 1-1 now. Trey Lance had a fantastic rushing touchdown in week one. Even Justin Fields is getting playing time with Chicago,
Well, he's
who
now getting playing time because Dalton got hurt.
I know, but I mean, at the exact same time, did we really see Andy Dalton kind of holding the reins in Chicago, or was it kind of just time for Justin Fields to take over at that point? I mean,
All right,
Chicago beat Cincinnati.
here's a little would you rather.
Hmm.
If Justin Fields started the season,
Hmm.
would the Bears be 2-0?
Who'd the Bears play week one?
The
Right.
Rams.
They would still have the same record.
Yeah, that's still the same record. You can't week one, you can't go up against the Rams like that. Rams are one of the best teams in the NFC right now.
Right. Fair enough.
I still think that would have been a really, really hard game to win.
Right.
Let's see.
Little would you rather?
Keep going.
No, that's it.
Oh, that was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Um, you know what? I'm gonna be the first one to say it. Vegas and Denver have completely surprised me this year.
I told you.
I never would have thought Vegas in their first two games against
2-0.
the Ravens and the Steelers would be 2-0 right now. Honestly, I was expecting it to be 0-2.
I see how it is.
I mean, it's no disrespect to the Raiders. It's just to
And
me
we
the
got
Ravens
the
and the Steelers.
Dolphins this week.
Yeah, no. Well, we'll be going over that in another episode soon. That'll be a more in-depth analysis.
That's going to be a good game.
If Tua is healthy and
if Tua is healthy.
I hope he is. That whole game was just a dumpster fire, and I won.
I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that injury.
It was such a bad hit. He looked like a rag doll. He got tackled. Epinesa came in, and Tua just went to the side. It was awful. It was.
I heard about it, and I'm like, y'all gotta be kidding me.
I mean, God, I really don't even want to talk about that game, but I guess I have to. The problem with that game is that we could have won that game.
Could is the key word.
Yeah. Now, before I start hearing people saying, "Well, you guys still lost 35-0." Yeah, we got kicked in the butt bad. Bad. But I mean,
bad.
Here's the thing: at halftime, 14-0, Miami forced a turnover and also gave away 2 to 3 turnovers in that first half. We went on 2 4th-down conversions, which we both failed, a 4th and 1 and a 4th and 2. And for some reason, we were anti-field goal last week, which made no sense to me. Which I get late game, you want to just have 7 points on the board, but makes you feel.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, 7 points is better than 3.
Well, of course, I mean, yeah, but it's just like the offensive line fell apart.
Yeah,
the wide receivers. Devontae Parker, Jalen Waddle, and now Will Fuller, because Will Fuller will be back week 3, I think is a fantastic trio with Mike Gesicki.
I forgot y'all had Fuller.
Yeah, I know. He took a week off because of personal reasons. There's no specification, but he's saying that he returned to practice and he's going to be week 3. Honestly, if Tua's healthy and Tua plays week 3 against the Raiders, it'll be a heck of a game. That I know.
Yeah, but if Tua doesn't play,
I don't know. I'm not willing to.
It's in Vegas, right?
It's in Vegas, yeah.
Oh.
I'm not willing
to y'all have to come into their territory.
Yeah, exactly. What's it called? What other games were big? Houston is on the revenge weeks. I have no idea why Houston's actually doing as well as what they're doing. They're still 21 points on Cleveland.
I mean, Cleveland's also another team that has its ups and downs.
Yeah, and they also just lost Jarvis Landry, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Injury?
Yeah, he's put on IR for the next 3 weeks. He sprained his MCL.
That had to hurt.
Yeah. Let's see. Leon, does Dallas surprise you this year?
Dallas.
Well,
I knew they were going to be good. Just after the Bucks performance. So Dallas played a good Chargers team. They came to play.
Defense, a decent Chargers team.
No, it was a great game.
Defense played.
I didn't see that game, unfortunately.
Offense did what they had to do. So Dallas is a playoff team this year. They might win the division.
I mean, I think they're at the top of their division right now. I mean, it's a 3-way tie between them, Washington, and Philly. But honestly, that division's going to be. That
division's always going to be just interesting. That's all. Interesting is a key word for that division.
I mean, there's no definitive winner of that division right now. The Eagles have honestly shocked me this year so far. Washington's playing at the level that I expected to, and Dallas' defense is actually somewhat competent.
The Eagles are 1-1.
So it was Dallas and Washington at the exact same time. The only team that's 0-2 is the Giants.
Pepperoni.
Yeah, poor Giants. I mean, I felt bad about that whole field goal situation.
So did he jump off sides?
Yeah, Lawrence.
Yeah, he did. It was there.
It's just like simple mistakes.
It's not even just simple mistakes. It's careless mistakes. Mistakes is the problem there. Tennessee's comeback against Seattle was great. Down 23-9 at halftime, came back and won it 33-30. Derrick Henry was a monster, and he looked better than what he normally did. He looked a lot better than last week when he played against Arizona, and he was suppressed to under 10 yards.
Derrick Henry's always. Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
I hiccuped.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Was there any team that really stood out to you guys?
What about the Bucks Falcons?
I have a couple of things to say about the Bucks Falcons, but first, before Anthony goes off on his Bucks rant, Leon, what do you have for the Falcons Tampa Bay game?
Falcons played good, but the Bucks are too good. So it's like, hey, turnovers are gonna win. You throw 2 pick sixes.
Yeah.
On back-to-back drives.
Mike Edwards is underrated.
Yeah.
Same with our secondary. Yeah, Sean Murphy-Bunting's out, but he'll be back. He will be back.
He will be back, but your secondary is weakened for the next couple of weeks. That's the problem.
There's a rumor floating around that Richard Sherman might come to Tampa.
But what's Richard Sherman going to do? It's not like he's reclaimed of his Legion of Boom glory or anything.
No, I'm not saying like Legion of Boom or whatever about Richard Sherman, but there's a possibility he could come to Tampa and bolster this secondary.
By doing what?
Having a veteran on this team again, like on the defense.
He's a bad DB, man. He's good in zone though.
Our secondary is young. That's what I gotta tell you. When they're healthy, they're good.
I mean, yeah, the secondary is young, and your front seven is some of the best front sevens in the entire league. But if your secondary can't do anything, you're going to look like Dallas's defense did last year. I mean, I don't want to put a target on your head, Anthony, when I say this, but I mean, week 1, Tampa Bay defense still allowed 29 points against Dallas's defense. Now, mind you, Dallas's defense is really good with Dak Prescott and everything, borderline elite. All right, but even with the Falcons, you guys still allowed 25 points, and at one point, the game was within 3 points.
That game, that offsides penalty, he was not offsides.
I don't know what the penalty is though.
It was like, did you watch the game at all, Leon?
No, I just watched the highlights.
So anywho, it was like 14, 13, 15 seconds left in the second quarter, and JPP or Shaq Barrett jumped off offsides, but it was literally simultaneously with the Falcons offensive lineman. Like, literally, they jumped out the same second. I think the Falcons offensive lineman jumped first, and then they hit Matt Ryan, and he threw the ball, but it was a fumble. It didn't go forward. It just dropped out of his hand, and then they returned that for a touchdown. So that would have put us up 32 to 10 or 32-3, and they called it incomplete pass and called a penalty on JPP for offsides. And in my personal opinion, JPP was not offsides. So that's why then it was 25-10, and then it was 28-25, and then so on and so forth.
I mean, I'm going to need to actually look at that play after this now just to see it. But, I mean, if what you're saying is true, then I guess you're right, especially if the offensive lineman for the Falcons jumped first.
The Bucks offense, oh my
God. The offense is fine.
The offense is fine. Don't touch anything on that offense. Like, offense is A-okay. Tom Brady at 44, still doing what he's doing. Just wow. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Scotty Miller. Just amazing core wide receivers. Wow.
It still goes back to that defense, because the thing is that especially because you faced Dallas offense and Falcons offense. Now, Falcons offense is worse than Dallas's offense, but you still versed 2 awful defenses. Now, Dallas is a little bit better.
No, don't get me wrong. Yeah.
But now you're going to Los Angeles. LA. Yes, you're going to the Rams. You're playing the Rams that have a fantastic offense and a great defense with Jalen Ramsey, who will lock down Mike Evans. Former FSU alum Jalen Ramsey, by the way, just in case.
Oh, we're not going to talk about that.
Gotta bring that out. But I mean, the Rams, I think, are going to beat the Bucks. Not by much, but I think that they're there. But anyway, that's for the next episode. What else? Oh, here we go. Anthony, I'm going to start this one off with you. New Orleans at Carolina. Jameis Winston looked like his 2019 self.
Jameis Winston's back to being Jameis Winston, making careless decisions. Did he throw 1 touchdown pass? Or was it a rushing touchdown?
One of the 2.
But long story short, Jameis is back to being Jameis. Careless decisions. That 1 pick, he should have just held on to the ball. He should have held on. That's all I'm saying. Like, he should have just held on and just taking a sack with the football, not throwing it away, because when you just throw it up in the air, it's anyone's game.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And at halftime, he had like correct me if I'm wrong. He had like 76 passing yards or
I don't
90.
remember.
But Jameis is back to being Jameis self.
So you're saying Jameis is back to being his old self when he was on the Bucks?
And he's not going to be a starter by week 4 or week 5.
Leon,
He's already a
No,
Jameis-
man, you just sound like a hater. But the game,
he's not a good quarterback. He's not
the
a
reason the
good
game went the way it was is because Saints didn't have the ball at all. The possession game was in Carolina's favor. They had the ball the whole time. You get Sam Darnold with 38 attempts passing. Jameis only had 22. Kamara. Saints are running the first team. Kamara only had 8 rushes. Next running back 5. The Panthers they had the clock smoking the whole time.
are you serious? Wait, Kamara only ran the ball 8 times?
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
got a question.
God.
I got a question.
Wow.
Is Carolina a sleeper team?
Not to me.
Wild card.
The time of possession for that game was 17 plus minutes for the Panthers. They held the ball the whole game.
Wow.
Damn.
I mean, Carolina, no disrespect to Carolina, they look fantastic. The defense looks great, looks good as well. The offense is good as well. They played the Jets week 1, and then they played a Saints team that they held onto the ball for as long as they could, which smoked out
Basically
the Saints.
just manhandled.
I wouldn't even call it manhandles. I mean, the Panthers played smart football. You took away the time. Because the thing is that Jameis, when he's given time, is unstoppable, in my opinion. If you allow him to drive the ball, he's fine. But if you rush him, if you make sure that he only has 2 minutes on offense, when you give him that 2-minute drill, he's going to fail.
And that's when it goes fixed, when it's the crunch time. And that's what happened. He had to make it fast, and there was no time.
Exactly. When you put a quarterback on ice, when he only has essentially a couple minutes to do anything, especially to play, he will launch the ball 20, 30, 40, even maybe 50 yards at a time just to be able to get into field goal range. So, because here's the other thing. Let's just eliminate the fact that the Panthers even held onto the ball for as long as they did. Let's say it was split 30-30, half-half, okay?
Yeah.
Jameis had a fantastic week 1 game against the Packers, where he threw all over them. He made the Packers defense look terrible, okay? And honestly, even if you take away the whole time clock situation with the Panthers, Jameis Winston's still 1-1 with the Saints. And it is 2 games into the season. I will say
2 games.
Exactly, 2 games.
Who do they got this week?
At New England. Ooh.
That should be interesting. New England has a good secondary.
Stephen Gilmore's still out for the first couple of weeks, but yeah, I mean, other than
even though Stephon Gilmore's out for the first couple of weeks, still got a good secondary.
They do.
And let's take it back to Antonio. Like did you see the interceptions? When did they happen?
I was coming back from South Carolina, so I missed the game. I saw the first interception though.
The first, when was it?
I saw the first one when
time was on the clock.
I didn't see that. I just saw and Instagram didn't show the time on the clock.
Well, it was the end of the half. 20 seconds. Launching it to the end zone.
He was just trying to get within point range so they can at least kick a field goal. It was a horrible throw, and he shouldn't have thrown it. He threw it into triple coverage.
That's what I'm saying.
I think we can all agree with that. But I mean, at the exact same time, you got to see Leon's point here. It's like you have 20 seconds. You have a receiver downfield. I think anybody 90% of the time would just launch it. Because things that if you throw it out of bounds or if it's incomplete, you just lost 7-8 seconds to make a play.
Yeah, but if you still had timeouts.
Did they have any timeouts, Leon?
No.
They had no timeouts after that, before that attempt?
No more.
No. So
17-0, 30 seconds left.
Yeah. So you have 30 seconds left, no timeouts, and the one thing is
one timeout.
But
they weren't field goal range. It was a third down, so it's the last play.
Okay, so that makes even more sense.
He only had 111 yards versus the Panthers.
Yeah, but I mean, if Leon is claiming that the Panthers held onto the ball for essentially more than 3 quarters, that's the main reason. Because here's the thing: give them 2 whole quarters, you double those yardage. That's 222. That's about average.
Hats off to the Panthers offense, man.
Oh, for sure.
Do you see Sam Darnold being the future in Carolina?
If he keeps playing like he's playing now, then yes. If he
Carolina's a sleep. I feel like Carolina's a sleeper team.
I mean, they've had one weak opponent and one average to above average opponent.
Now, when they play Tampa, let's just say like if they play a team like the Rams or Tampa or Kansas City, what do you expect?
They're gonna lose.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it's gonna be a close game.
I don't think so.
So you think blowout?
Potentially. Who's Carolina playing this week? Where did I write this down?
They're playing Houston Thursday night.
Oh yeah, thank you. Of course, the one place I wasn't looking was Thursday night. Let's see.
That should be an interesting game.
San Francisco at Philly. That was a good game. Close game.
Yeah, the Eagles failed miserably on the Philly special.
Yeah, that was abysmal. That one I saw happen live. That was awful.
I feel bad for whoever was there.
All right, guys, you got any closing remarks? Anything else to say?
One word to describe week 2?
Week 2 was, I say it was good football.
It was okay. Week 1 was a lot better.
Yeah, it was.
It's only week 3. Now, if you count today, it's only week 3 of the season, but we've already seen so much.
I mean, yeah. First 2 weeks of NFL, we still got another, 16 weeks of football, technically? I mean, plenty.
Yeah, no, 15.
16 bye weeks.
Oh, yeah.
16 weeks.
With a 17-game schedule.
17-game schedule with 18 weeks.
Something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's still going to be good. There's still going to be a lot of good football. There's week 3 through 18 left to play. So, I mean, the playoffs, for all we know, the 2-0 teams could finish out and lose every the rest of every single game. You never know with how it plays.
You never know.
You never know. But for right now, I think that'll do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will be getting.
Thank you for 50 subscribers.
Yes, thank you for 50 subscribers. I can't believe we actually hit that right now.
I know.
What's it called? We will be getting the prediction video out soon. Then we will tell you how it looks so far, our predictions, as well as the current rankings of everybody. So just see that coming out real soon. But thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, just stay tuned.